Today, we're going to dive into a really beautiful guide by Thich Nhat Hanh called The Miracle of Mindfulness. And what's so great about it is it's not about escaping our crazy, busy lives. It's about totally transforming how we live them, one moment at a time.
I mean, have you ever felt that? Like your time just isn't your own? It's a feeling I think we all know, right? You're being pulled in a million different directions, and it feels like your time belongs to everyone but you. Well, that exact feeling, that sense of being all chopped up, that's what we're going to get into today.
So the book tells this great story about a guy named Alan. And Alan felt exactly this way. He saw his time as this pie that was constantly being carved up and handed out. A slice for his son Joey, a slice for his wife Sue, another for the new baby, a big chunk for chores, and whatever tiny little sliver was left over, well, that was his time. And it was just never, ever enough. But then Alan has this incredible breakthrough. He just stops dividing his time. He starts to see the moments helping his son with homework not as time being taken from him, but as his own time. And by being completely present with his family, by really living in those moments, he makes this wild discovery. All of a sudden, his time feels, unlimited.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? Our minds are always rushing away from right now, from the present moment. And that's exactly why we feel like we never have enough time.
Okay, so let's take a super simple chore, like washing the dishes. On the left here, you see the way most of us do it. We're just rushing to get it done, right? Our mind is already on that cup of tea we're going to have next. We're not really there. We're not really living. But look at the mindful approach on the right. Here, you are just completely aware that you are washing the dishes. That's it. That's the whole job. Yeah, and Thich Nhat Hanh just nails this idea. He says, for most of us, the goal is the outcome. We wash dishes just to have clean dishes. We're focused on the end result, not the actual process. And here's the shift. It's so simple, but it's huge. The goal becomes the act itself. To wash the dishes in order to wash the dishes. To just be there for it all. The feeling of the warm water, the look of the soap suds, the simple reality of standing at the sink. When you do that, you are truly fully alive in that moment. There's another great little story that captures this perfectly. A guy named Jim Forrest is eating a tangerine, but his mind is a million miles away. He's so busy talking about all his future projects that he doesn't even realize he's eating it. He's not eating the tangerine, he's basically eating his future plans. And that really makes you wonder, right? If we can't even be present for something as simple as a tangerine, what hope do we have for the really big, important moments in our lives?
Okay, so that's the what. But what about the how? How do we actually learn to do this? How do we get to the point where we can wash the dishes just to wash the dishes? Well, the method is actually surprisingly simple, and it's something you've had with you this whole time.
First, let's just get clear on what we mean by mindfulness. It's not some, mystical, far-out state that only monks can achieve. Not at all. It's a really practical tool. It's the miracle that lets us call back our scattered mind, bring all the pieces back together so we can actually live each minute of our lives. And the main tool we use to do this? It's just your breath. It's that simple. Think about it. Your mind is always racing ahead into the future or dwelling on the past. But your body? Your body is always right here, right now. Your breath is like the bridge that connects the two. It unites your thoughts with your body.
And that's the core practice right there. Whenever you feel your mind getting scattered, when you're lost in worry or just distracted, you don't have to fight it. You just gently bring your attention back to the physical feeling of your own breathing. The in-breath, the out-breath. It becomes your anchor, holding you steady in the present moment.
Okay, so breathing is our anchor. But how do we turn this one simple technique into a real, sustainable practice? Something that can actually fit into our crazy demanding schedules.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it when life feels like it's pulling us apart? It can feel totally impossible to add one more thing to the to-do list.
Well, the book offers a really brilliant solution. Don't try to be mindful all the time, especially at first. Instead, just set aside one day a week, maybe a Saturday, and call it your day of mindfulness. You're not doing anything extra or special. You're just doing your normal stuff, waking up, doing chores, making tea, but you do it with your full, unhurried attention. And what happens is that one day starts to act like this powerful lever that slowly begins to transform the rest of your week.
And it's this simple practice that leads to a really profound shift. It's not just about how you manage your time anymore. It's about how you see the entire world and your place in it. You know, when we think of miracles, our minds usually go to something supernatural, right? Something that completely defies the laws of physics, like walking on water.
But the book suggests that the real miracle is already here. It's right under our feet. The true miracle is to walk on the earth, to be fully present for that simple act, to actually feel the ground, to see the sky, to be aware of your body moving through space. That is the miracle. And we are surrounded by these moments every single day. We just have to learn how to see them.
To really get this, just think about a simple table. What's in that table? Well, wood, obviously. But if you look deeper, you can see the forest the wood came from. You can see the sun and the rain that helped that tree grow. You can see the carpenter who built it, and even the carpenter's parents who brought them into the world. In a very real way, that simple table contains the entire universe.
And that's the ultimate insight here. When you start to see that deep interconnectedness in everything, you realize you're not separate from the world. You are a fundamental part of it. And once you get that, every simple act, washing the dishes, drinking tea, just walking down the street, it all becomes a kind of meaningful ritual, connecting you to the whole of reality.
All right, so as we wrap things up here, let's just bring this all back to one simple but incredibly powerful idea. The one single thought that you can take with you that can change everything.
And this is really the heart of it all. It's not about trying to reach some far-off state of enlightenment in the future. It's about making whatever you are doing right now the single most important thing in your life. Because when you give your full, undivided presence to even the smallest moments, you start to realize that you already have everything you've been searching for. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the most important thing in your life, right now, in this very moment?